Hi there. In this video, we're going to be working on lesson 4.8 and doing examples 3b and 3c. Now, before I get going, you're going to notice that I placed my Angle Chasers playbook over here on the right side, and I'm going to be referencing those strategies to help us chase down those missing angles in problems 3b and 3c. So let's get after it. In problem 3b, I'm going to first start by just taking a look at what I have. I notice that I've got some congruent sides here and here, which is telling me that I've got an isosceles triangle. So I'm already thinking about play number 1 over here in our playbook, which means that if I've got two sides that are the same, that means that these angles opposite those sides are also the same. So I'm allowed to assume that this angle right here is 40 degrees as well. Now, I know that didn't get us the x that we're looking for, but we're getting closer. Now that I know 2, you can always rely on strategy number 4 in our playbook, which we know that all 3 angles in a triangle add or sum to make 180 degrees. And right now I have something for all 3 angles. So I'm going to go ahead and use strategy 4, which is add all 3 of them and set them equal to 180. So I know that 40 degrees plus 40 degrees plus the third angle, which right now is being referred to by 4x plus 10, all those 3 angles together complete a full triangle, which means they make 180 degrees. And now you're ready to go. All you have to do is some number crunching. It's just a classic algebra equation, with one missing thing. So I'm going to combine my 3 like terms, 40 plus 10. All those together are going to make 90. And I still have plus 4x, and I'll set that equal to, once again, this is the full triangle of 180 degrees. Now we're getting closer, 2 steps. I've got a positive 90 over here on the left, which means that I want to subtract 90. And since it's an equation, you're going to do that from both sides to keep things balanced. After that, it looks like I'm left with 4 times this thing x, which is going to be now equal to 90 degrees. Since this is multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is the number attached to x. And once again, since it's an equation, you're going to do the same thing on both sides to keep things balanced, which means that that x value must be equal to 22.5 degrees. Now, I know that's a decimal, but don't freak out. Okay? Those numbers are certainly options when it comes to answers. Now, why don't we switch the color up a little bit here so that we can distinguish problem 3b from 3c. We'll go with, how about a little blue action? Okay. Now, I'm looking at problem 3c, and I'm telling myself, what do I have? I notice that I have, in this triangle, I have 1, 2, 3 sides that are all the same. So I'm already thinking about strategy number 2, which is that it's an equilateral triangle. And that means that all 3 of these angles, there, and there, the one at the x, all 3 of those are the same. Now remember, a full triangle is 180. So if you take that 180 and divide it evenly to the 3 angles, that means that each of those must be 60 degrees. So by doing that one step, we've actually found out that x has to be equal to 60 degrees. Now, we're super close. I noticed that we're supposed to find y, and if you take a close look, x and y together, they create a straight line, which is making me think about strategy number 3 in our playbook, that they're a linear pair of angles. If you know 1, you can always find the one next to it. I know that together they make 180, and 60 degrees have already been used. So in order to find y, I'm going to do my straight line of 180 minus the 60 degrees that we already found for x, which means that I'm left over with 120 degrees, which is equal to that variable of y.